ANC party leader who was once the vice president of Kenya has set everything clear that he will be running for presidency come 2022. In an exclusive interview with Switch TV's Musalia Mudavadi says his main agenda will be boosting the economy and ensuring the common mwananchi has a sustainable life.
Wow. First, congratulations for you being endorsed as the ANC presidential candidate come 2022. Just briefly tell us what are some of the agendas that you're going to work on to ensure that the common mwananchi factors are being considered in your agendas.
In fact, I'll not want to go too far. I'll just tell you my agenda. The first one, the economy. The second one, the economy. And the third one, the economy. Where we are, to get out of the post-COVID crisis, to generate jobs, to get people to have confidence to start reinvesting again, to see growth, and of course and the issues that I've talked about, clamping in on corruption and what have you. So all these holistically boil down to one thing. Our focus must be the economy. The other day, Kenyans on 7th of July, they were celebrating Sabasaba. If you ask many Kenyans today, what does Sabasaba mean? Very few of them know what it means. We have a population of about 48 million. 34 million Kenyans today were actually born after Sabasaba. That is 72% of Kenyans were born after Sabasaba. They are in their prime age. They're either very young or in their prime age. They need jobs. You need a functional economy. And an economy that is not working for the political elite. An economy that is working for all Kenyans, for the farmer, for the teacher, for the investor. Let us not be hoodwinked by politicians moving around in a state of glamour or anything, and then we assume that all is well. They should be working for us. They should be working for the Kenyans. We should move away from the notion that the economy works for those few.
You're one of those leaders in Western Kenya who have already said that you're going to run for presidency and you've already been endorsed by ANC party. Also, we see other potential leaders in Western Kenya who might go in the ballot. That is Dr. Mkisa Kitui. We see Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya. Do you think maybe them going to the ballot come 2022 might create division in the Western community and therefore affecting your chances in the ballot come 2022?
Would you say the same thing that Gideon Moi has declared and Ruto has declared, that it's going to affect the votes of that person?
It might.
Would you argue that
in some aspect?
Would you argue that the last time that Uhuru Kenyatta contested, was it the first time in 2013? And when he contested after Kibaki, Peter Kenneth contested, and Martha Karua contested, and Paul Mwite contested. Would you argue that that undermined his chances? So basically what I'm trying to say is that it's a constitutional right for somebody to declare an interest to contest. All right? But you cannot, again, grant a constitutional right for people to declare their interest and then suppress it. How do you suppress it? You can't suppress it. The only way to suppress that is when the voter makes a decision.
Right now in the country, where the reports indicate that about 95% of Kenyans that are unemployed. Maybe what are some of the things that you personally think that should be done to ensure that most Kenyans, especially youths who are now suffering, are being taken into consideration in terms of employment?
Remember the first thing we said, clamp down on corruption, use resources prudently, identify your priorities appropriately. That is absolutely essential. Once you can do that and you are using your resources efficiently, you will be able to apply those resources where there will be a good multiplier effect. What needs to be done for the farmers to give us the good results, we must figure out. Whether it is the tea sector, whether it is the coffee sector, whether it is the dairy, or the pastoralists, they are very critical sectors of our economy that will need to be resourced appropriately, both financially and in terms of strategy and human resource. So my advice to the Kenyan people is that your choice matters. Americans have taken up this new slogan, Black Lives Matter. My message to the Kenyan is that your choice matters. When you start looking at the institutions, the chaos we are seeing in Nairobi, until the national government has to intervene, what does that tell you about the choices we made? When we see chaos in a lot of our county governments, people misappropriating resources and not applying them where they're supposed to be. We made those choices. What drove us to make those choices? Why do we become blind at an election time? Blind on the need to analyze the questions you're asking me now. Why do we run away from those questions during the election time?
Sure. Now let's talk about the constant factor in this country, corruption. Corruption has become like a stubborn taboo in Kenya. Are we losing it completely as a nation, or are we even going in achieving the goal?
I think there's a lot of concern here. From where I sit, I think we should be concerned. First of all, just look at the dispute between the executive and the judiciary. For how long has it been going on? The judiciary claiming that they don't have enough judges, the standoff between appointing new judges and not appointing them. What does that mean? It means that the Kenyan is being denied justice. And for an economy to run, there must be an efficient judicial system. Because how do we settle our disputes? We don't settle our disputes by picking pangas and hacking each other. We are supposed to settle our disputes going through the legal mechanism. So if there's a problem there, we have a crisis. Do we fund the judiciary appropriately? Do we fund the other institutions that fight corruption appropriately? Parliament, and I'll give you this example for you to perhaps appreciate, or for the Kenyans to appreciate. Parliament has got about 1,000, maximum 1,500 people. That is the MPs plus the staff, support staff, both National Assembly and Senate. When the budget was presented, they were given about 40 billion Kenya shillings. Parliament, they say they work through committees, but they also sit only 3 times in a week. Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. 3 times in a week. But